Hello lovelies and welcome to today's video. So just quickly, when I do my videos I like to try and alternate. So if I do an art journal video, my next one I tend to make it either a scrapbook or project life. I didn't do that this time. I did a project life, I did an art journal page for my last video and I was planning to do a scrapbook page, but I've just been in love with my art journal and I was playing around with some Color Blast supplies and this came out. So this is actually for my Arty blog post, and yes, which I'll put a link in the description below to over to the blog post so you can have a look at that and check out all the cool things over there as well. But yeah, I was just having some fun and this came out, so I thought I'd share it with you. I do have plans to do a couple of scrapbook pages though. All the ideas are in my head. I've just got to get the time, find the time to get them out. So anyway, I'm starting with some color sprays, Color Blast sprays by Arty. And on purpose, I picked colors. The words aren't working tonight. I picked colors that my go-to is always blue. Literally, when I went to this one, I went to pick up the blues and the greens. So I thought, no, we're not going to do that. We're going to go for a different color tone. So I picked up a yellow, a red, and a pink. I have picked up saffron, love, and what was the last color? Bubblegum, I think. And so that's what I'm working with. And I've tipped them into a palette and I'm using them as a watercolor. I love these sprays. They are water reactive and they just go on beautifully. And I wanted to try something different. So I have used a paintbrush, spritzed my paper, and then I've just put down my colours going lightest to darkest. And then because I couldn't leave well enough alone, I just kept adding. So I smushed the pages together just to get some of that excess ink. I just find it helps with that other page, so there's no white page, you know. And I always like to use up any excess ink I had as well. So what I'm doing now is I'm using the same inks, the same colours, to spritz through my stencil. And this is another Arty stencil. And what that does is one of my favourite things. When you spray a stencil, you're left with the ink on that stencil. So then I like to flip it over and use it as a stamp. And as you can see, I'm stamping that off onto the other page as well. So I'm sort of doing two pages at the same time. Basically, I'm just making a background for that second page. You'll see that I sort of stop adding to it soon, but this will make a great base for the next page I decide to do. And if I add some other colours and things to it, I can make it look completely different to this one. This is where I really start to fall in love with this page. So I knew I wanted to add some stenciling in the background, so I got out some black paint. And before I put out a bit too much, and before I used my stencil, I thought, I might just brayer some on the edges, and I love how it looked. I do love using a brayer to apply paint. I have about 4 different sized brayers. This is my middle one. I love the effect it gives. It looks really grungy, and we know how much I love that grungy look. So now this, I knew what I wanted. Well, I didn't until I went through my stencils, but I wanted to combine 2 stencils as my focal image. I was thinking of putting a quote and then an image on the side. In the end, I scrapped that and decided to just use my stencils, my words, as my focal point. This is me cleaning off the rest of that black paint. I had too much, and nothing goes to waste in my art room. So if I have excess paint, I'm going to put it in a journal. My nephews were painting the other day, and being 6, 8, and 9, they were really piling on the paint. So I had about 4 different art journals and a few pieces of cardstock around, cleaning up all their excess paint and mopping up their brayers and things. And I got some really good backgrounds out of it, and that was just using their excess paint. So yeah, nothing goes to waste, and I will use all that excess paint and ink on a journal somewhere. So I have multiple art journals. But yes, I'm combining 2 stencils to give me what I want to say. So one says don't quit, and the other one says too glam to give a damn. I decided to combine them to say don't give a damn. You know, you're just having one of them days. Well, that's what I decided to do. I'm using white gesso, and I'm going through my stencils a couple of times. I'm drying off in between, and that is because I am using water reactive paints. The gesso does sort of go a little, it's not as opaque as I like, so I want to do a few more coats. But not only that, the colours behind tend to seep through a little bit. So I'm just doing a couple of coats just to try and give me that bright, crisp white. And then again, because I have some paint left over, I'm bringing in some more of that white. White tends to brighten up a page, black will obviously darken it, but not only that, when you've got a lot of colours going on, it's always good to bring in either white or black to sort of ground the page. So I've decided to just add a few more grungy lines with an old gift card with my white, my gesso, and then as you can see, nothing goes to waste. I added some splatters and then I smushed the rest of it onto that left-hand side page. And then because I just wanted to add some more grungy and just define my my words, I'm going over it with just a pen. What is this? This is a Uniball pen. And I'm being very grungy, very scratchy, very messy with those lines, just to outline my words, just to make them pop a little bit more. And yeah, that's pretty much it. This is what I decided to make the focal point of my art page. I didn't want to add anything else to it. I just really love that those white, bright words popping off this really bright page. You know, it really gets the message across. And I really do love how this turned out. I love how combining these two stencils gave me a whole new phrase and a page that I absolutely loved. So thanks for watching, and I'll be back soon with a new video. Bye for now.